YouTube, how the hell are you doing? It's Magic here. I'm bringing you a brand new video, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about how to raise your kill death ratio, and just talk about the things that I did to raise mine. And by no means am I saying I'm the best player. I don't have the highest KD, but from Black Ops 2 until now, I have made a substantial improvement, and so I figured this would be a good topic to discuss and uh, fill you in on the things that I did to make myself a better player. And so the first thing that I did, and this was a tip that was taught to me by one of my friends back on PS3, was to go into a private match and set your lobby up to free for all on whatever map you choose, your favorite map, the smallest map, it doesn't matter. And for me personally, I put the time limit on unlimited, the score limit on unlimited, and then I set the bots to veteran. And when you play the bots on veteran, they will be substantially harder. A lot of people don't believe me, but they really are much harder. They will drop shot, they'll jump shot, they'll pre-fire you, they'll camp. They basically see you through walls, and so it's a little bit crazy. And if you feel like they're way too easy for you and you know they're not really helping, um, I still would not hesitate to at least give it a shot and do it a couple times. If anything else, there's bodies there for you to work on getting your aim directly snapped on and to improve your accuracy. And so that's rule number one that I figured out how to do. Rule number two was I guess these aren't really rules, so I don't know why I'm saying that they're rules. The second thing that I did was I decided I wanted to play competitively, but since I wasn't that good of a player, I chalked it up to maybe the fact that I was just an objective player and that's all I was ever going to be. One thing that I didn't realize and I didn't notice was happening when I was doing it was that when I was playing competitively, I was tired of losing. I was tired of being destroyed, and so subconsciously, I started making changes that gave me a better advantage, and started making me win gunfights a little bit more. And so, I highly recommend. I wouldn't say going and playing competitively, but I would definitely recommend maybe playing game battles, maybe some eights, and just give it a try. And I promise you that playing against better players will indeed increase your ability to kill people. And so another thing that kind of comes along with competitively is you'll end up in a lot of free for alls with your teammates, and you'll just work on your accuracy and getting warmed up before you get into a match, and that helped me a ton. Another great thing is when I built my teams, I always made sure that every player on the team was way better than myself, and that's because I didn't want to be the best player on my team, because if I was, our team wasn't going to be very good. And so with my teammates, we became really good friends, and with all these free for alls and stuff, I got better playing against them. And then one of my friends pulled me aside and was like, "Man, I really want to help you get better. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna take you into a private match, and we're gonna 1v1 all day long." And so we did, and throughout the day, I just got better and better and better and better. And I'm not going to say it's going to work for everybody that way. Chances are it won't. It's going to take a lot of different things. But I noticed that every time I died, it made me a little more determined to figure out a way to kill him a little more efficiently. And so I started running different routes. I pre-fired. I was pre-aiming, and pre-firing and pre-aiming are very essential. Basically, what you do is if you know somebody's around a corner, ADS, then walk around the corner, and then there's times if they're camping, then I will start firing and then walk around the corner. So you're already putting bullets at them once you're coming around the corner. So I'd 1v1 him, and I noticed that I would get better, and uh, I think it really helped out our friendship, even just because he felt like he was helping me, and I knew he was helping me. And so that's another one of the steps that I took, was befriending players who were better than myself. And even if we weren't on the same team, by playing in eights lobbies and other things, at first it was so hard. People would want to kick me out of the lobbies. Nobody wanted to be on my team. I was that bad of a player. And slowly over time, with my friend helping me out and improving my skill, eventually people were picking me to be on their team, and people did want me to stay in the lobbies. And then I became friends with those people, and then more times than not, we would end up in private matches and we would 1v1. And so I just kept climbing the ladder that way and playing against different players and improving on my accuracy and just on every little skill that I could. And speaking of all of that, having a good strategy each game is something that I highly recommend. I always go into a match with an idea of where people like to camp, where people like to run, and I tend to stay out of the middle of the map and rotate around the edge. When you rotate around the edge, you're more likely not to run into a bunch of enemies at once. You'll get the one on one gun battles that you want, and hopefully you'll start winning them. There are a couple of things that you can do to improve your skill as far as spending money. The biggest thing I would stress is to buy a new controller. I would get a Scuff Gaming controller or a Cinch Gaming controller. They are a little pricier than your average controller. However, they're very well worth it. They allow you to continue to aim while you drop shot, jump shot. So it's really nice. I'm not going to go into detail on either of them. There's tons of videos out there for that. But I will tell you that I think Scuff is probably more for people with bigger hands, and Cinch is probably better for people with smaller hands. I personally use a Cinch myself, and so that's where I'll leave that. Another thing you can do is go buy a very good headset. The one I use right now is only, it was like $100. It's Turtle Beach headset. It does really well. I have great audio quality. The mic sounds great, so we're good there. Um, I would recommend you could go buy a pair of Astros if you have the money. They're top of the line in quality, great audio, great mic. So they're probably number one on my list. Turtle Beach has some stuff that's pretty comparable as well, so I would start looking there. Um, a couple of other things that I would recommend doing to raise your KD would be uh, one, watch some pro streams. I I would spend a lot of my time watching the tournaments um, when they came on, which is usually once, maybe twice a month. They have a pro tournament. I would also in the spare time when they're not doing tournaments, they usually have a league that's going on where they play each other, and so I would watch that, or they might just be streaming for fun. So I'd watch them play pubs. I'd watch them play eights against each other. And eventually, when you watch enough, you start to see the spots that they're going to. You see some of the strategies that they use. And you can all bring that into real life matches, and it will help you far better than just running around aimlessly like a chicken with your head cut off. And other than that, the only other thing that I can really stress is practice, practice, practice. Practice is the most important thing that you can possibly do. Just keep at it. You may not see results immediately. However, the more that you try, the more you practice, the better you will get. And one day it'll just happen, and you'll be surprised. You really will. You won't even notice it's happening until one day you're just there. Other than that, don't hip fire. Hip firing's bad, especially in this game. It's better just to always ADS as much as possible. If you do have to hip fire, pray that you kill them, because more times than not you won't. Another good tip that I just want to share really fast is with this game, with Advanced Warfare, they introduced this thing called firing range, and it's nothing spectacular. It's got 10 stalls. You go in, you pick a weapon, you go to one of the stalls, you shoot the targets. One is the easiest, 10's the hardest, and I wouldn't say 10's necessarily hard. I mean, they don't shoot back or nothing. However, it will make you realize exactly how bad you are when it comes to accuracy. You'll have targets jumping and dashing and imitating real enemies' movements. And so I highly recommend getting in there. Use different weapons. Find the gun that works the best for you. And when you find a gun that you're comfortable with, that you can control the recoil, that you are familiar with how it reacts with certain attachments, use that gun in a live test. go into private match, play against bots with it, get more familiar with it. And if it turns out that you really like that weapon, then move on and play against somebody and 1v1 them with it. Other than that, I have nothing else that I can offer. I hope I explained everything well enough that you have a general idea of how to get started on improving your KD. I did competitive for roughly, I think I was in it for about 4 or 5 months before, well, that was in total. So from the time I joined competitive to the time I left, and now I've noticed a huge change. So I thank you for listening. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment below. You can contact me on Twitter if you want anything else. I really appreciate you listening, and we will catch you later.
Hey guys, it's White Magic 18J. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And most of all, don't forget to comment. I really enjoy talking with y'all. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you later.